so it's quite an accomplishment.
And Lando, just an amazingly worthy champion, isn't it, after a season like that, right?
Yeah, it's so well deserved from everyone. So can't wait to get back to the factory and celebrate with the entire team because you know, we got a great group here, but we got a lot of men and women back at McLaren.
Would you say that this is a victory for the spirit of how you go racing, Zach?
I think it is. You know, it's to us, it's the right way to go racing. Get two awesome racing drivers. It's the same thing you and Lewis. So it's important we celebrate with everyone that contributed, and that's 1,400 people at McLaren.
Thank you so much, Zach. We'll let you go and celebrate.
Thank you.
It should be some night wherever you are in the world. But yeah, I mean, what a performance! I just want to come back to you very quickly before we move on this one, Nico. I could see you there. It's almost like reliving exactly what happened to you 9 years ago. You were kind of living that moment, and as we were saying, it was life-changing for you, and it will be life-changing for Lando.
Yeah, I really felt it emotionally myself, you know, for Lando. Like, it's so powerful, so beautiful to share. I mean, that emotion of crossing the finish line. The race was very tense for him in the first part. You know, there was a lot of like, that was a bit scary initially. So then to just have it done and dusted, you know, no one can ever take this away from him again. F1 world champion, that's so big, and you start dreaming when you're 8 years old, and now it's done, you know, it's huge. So I'm smiling for him.
Obviously very happy for him as a driver, because I think he's always been a extremely quick driver, quicker I think than what people give him credit for, and extremely talented. Since I worked with him in McLaren the first years, I saw a guy that had the speed to be multiple world champion. If it was purely down to speed, I think along the way he's developed a lot of his skills, and now he's world champion. But more than anything, happy for him as a person, because I think he's a driver that doesn't follow the typical stereotype of world champion. I think he's always stayed very true to himself, very honest, very open about his own struggles, and he's just proven to everyone that you can also be world champion being that good guy, or that open, nice guy, and you don't need to be ruthless or, like I say, badass, you know, to show to everyone that you can be world champion. So happy for him. I hope he stays the same. I hope he doesn't get in his head this is world championship now, and he keeps being himself, or if anything, he relaxes even more, and now he can enjoy Formula One even more.
I think you'll keep him in check.
I will definitely be in his ear on those golf rounds if I see he's getting a bit show off, you know, but no, I think he must have suffered a bit this year with all the social media pressure, journalism pressure from criticizing him when he was struggling at the first half. Now when Max was getting close, never easy to be world champion with Max breathing down your neck, but he's kept it more or less under control, and he's won it.
Thank you, appreciate it.
He's such a classy operator, is Carlos Sainz. The two of them. It was one of the...
Just been listening to your mum crying.
Oh, gosh.
Goosebumps, I think, for everybody. Lando, you said that something along the lines of good guys can be world champions, nice guys can win world championships. And Carlos has just said to me, you've proved it today.
Thank you, Carlos.
You're going to walk into every room in the future, be able to say you're a Formula One world champion.
Yeah, no, it's pretty cool. It's pretty insane. It's hard for me just to say it, but still. I almost feel like I don't want to say it just yet. I want to wake up tomorrow and say it, but look, I mean, it's been a season of ups and downs. Has it been has it been a perfect season? Absolutely not. Has it by anyone? No. And there's been ups, there's been downs. I've had my struggles, and I've also had my fortune. You know, my luck every now and then, and things that have helped me out. But I guess, you know, winning a championship is about the consistency, and I had a lot of that this season. And I just did what I had to do, and I focused on myself. I, you know, managed to concentrate on myself when a lot of people were supporting me, and also when a lot of people were not supporting me. I felt, you know, a lot of just comfort within my team, within my close team, my parents, my friends, my family, my manager, my trainer. You know, the people that I've grown up with. And we overcame a lot of those things together, and you know, I really feel like they're just as much part of saying so we are world champions as I feel like I get to say it myself, you know. So
It's pretty cool.
Really cool.
It's pretty cool. I'm happy I cried as well. Like, not many things in my life have ever made me cry. But today was one, so I didn't know if I was gonna, but I came under the tunnel on the last lap, and I thought of my mum, and that thought made me cry, thinking of how happy she would be, and my dad, and then I got a bit more emotional, so pretty amazing day.
You weren't the only one. There were a lot of people emotional at that point. Can you take me inside that helmet those last few laps?
Yeah, I mean, it was fairly relaxed the last few laps. I was just trying to stay away from all the curbs, not do anything silly. Honestly, our car gets more difficult to drive when you try and back off more, so I always had more problems when I try to relax a little bit, but I just, similar to the first win I had, like, very quiet laps. I don't even think Will said this was the last lap. I think he knew I knew what it was. And you just kind of have that little fast run back of the journey, like you see in movies and things like that. Like, it's genuine. And those pictures of me, my first ever time in a go-kart, that first day where I looked like an absolute rookie, zero style, no idea what I was doing. Remember my dad taking us karting, both my brother and myself, and the car blowing up on the way there because we couldn't get up the hill on the way to the track, and just those real memories of where it started and all the way to where I am now. And I think what's made it even better is I get to share it with the team, because I've been with them for 8 years now, and we've been through a lot together. So it's not just a game and then I've conquered and that was it. I've wanted to do it with McLaren since the very beginning, and I think and I hope they feel the same way. And I feel like, again, they're just as much part of it. So I'm very happy we got the constructors and the drivers together.
You've also turned things around mid-season with the help of the team. I know you took the Delta time off in qualifying. That seemed to help you. I know the team really worked together to try and get rid of that first half, any doubts or anything that was going on there. How proud are you of the way that you all built this title together? And your turnaround? Yeah,
I mean, I'm. It's not the stuff I'll talk about it one day. But the first season was very tough. Maybe I'm sure it's even tougher for others, and I'm lucky the team have given me an incredible car that has made my life very easy. At times you've still struggled, and even I've struggled against Oscar, and Oscar's done an incredible job. And I'm glad I've had Oscar, the last 3 years, because even though he's still a lot newer to it than me, I've learned a lot from him, and he showed me up at many times, and I've managed to learn a lot from him, and I wouldn't be the driver I am today without that. Of course, also with my other teammates, with Carlos, with Daniel the last few years, but he's made me have to dig even deeper than I ever have before, because by the midpoint of the season, he was performing better than I was and doing a better job consistently. And then after Zandvoort, it was pretty tough. But we had a good break, and I managed to do everything I needed to. That's not just driving better on track. There's a lot of other things that go on in the background that I had to do personally to make myself better, to make myself more resilient in all the cases, to get more out of myself. Whether that's the Delta lap time and little things that no one's going to know for years, little things that are all part of, I don't know how many points I won by today, but 2 exactly. 2 points, and so easily one other thing that I didn't do quite well enough or whatever could have changed the whole of today. So, and I wouldn't be smiling. So but. More than anything, I want to, of course, enjoy the moment, but also give a congrats to Oscar and to Max, of course, for making us stress like hell the last few months. But also to Oscar, as my teammate, I think people don't understand how difficult it can be. Like people have proven in the past, as having teammates fighting for a world championship, and you know, for Zach and Andrea to kind of have control over those things. It's certainly tougher than just having one car, and we take points off of each other. We make our lives harder. Strategies are always more difficult, but the team would always take that over only having one car performing for a World Championship. And I have to give a congrats to Oscar, because he's driven incredible, and at some point he's going to get the better of me, because he's an incredible driver. And I learned a lot. I've enjoyed it a lot, and sadly I got a lot more seasons with him in the future. So I look forward to those tough moments as well.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Andrea, how's this rank in terms of best nights of your life?
Best night. I thought we would say best, best Sunday, best race, best championship. It's very, very high in this classification. I was, reflecting actually on this one while I was in the garage, taking a bit of a breath, processing it. It made me think about 2010 when we actually didn't win with Ferrari here. It was a close gap even in that case. Now it's 2 points, and it can go one way or the other. Sometimes it's just a matter of details. It came after a couple of difficult races. We made our life more difficult than, ideal. But I'm just so proud. I think being proud of the team is my main feeling at the moment. Being proud of how everyone responded to the call this season, the call to elevate the game compared to last year. The demand has been huge. Two drivers in the contest, trying to do it the McLaren way, trying to be fair, respectful. It's been a lot of work, but the team has been so united. Even when we had our bumps on the road, everyone was stuck with a culture of progress, a culture of trying to seek all the improvement, unity, and I'm just so happy that the team have been rewarded with this success that is Lando's, but is also a team success.
Let's talk about congratulations to you all.
Thank you, Martin.
Let's talk about the race. Turn 9, Oscar sails around the outside of Lando. Was that in the game plan, or were you sitting there thinking, what is this all about?
There's been more than one conversation this weekend with our drivers. We knew that in the first lap there could be a swap of position, or there could be, like Oscar, having the possibility to pass. We didn't want to prevent it, but we said even more than normal, just play very safe. And I think that was a very safe maneuver. It was also interesting as a racing situation to kind of let Oscar go with the hard tires and try and chase Max. This was to some extent even in the interest of Lando himself. So it was always a little nerve-wracking, but actually there was a lot of preparation in terms of how we should conduct ourselves in this kind of maneuvers. So I would say it went according to the plan.
So first of all, congratulations, fantastic for the entire team, and I'm sure celebrating back in Woking as well. But given what we've just discussed with Martin, did you expect the hard tyre to be better than the medium at the start? And if so, was there ever a thought to start Lando on that tyre?
So we expected the hard tyre to be the better tyre today. I think we saw that we didn't test the hard tyres because we wanted to save them for the race, and thankfully so. We knew that at some stage the medium tyres would have grained, but Max did a very good job of going actually very long, great pace. I think he confirmed that in this second part of the season, Max and Red Bull have been, from a performance point of view, very strong. This has raised, if anything, the bar in terms of the challenge that we needed to face to try and win on track the Drivers' Championship. I think this was a good battle on track, almost like meaningful of the season, and I'm very thankful and grateful to the whole team that we actually ended up winning it.
I was going to say, actually, sorry, on that front, on Qatar and Abu Dhabi, take us inside the team. Now that you have got it done, and I put this to Zach with regards to the ethos and sticking by it and sticking by your principles, how nervous was everybody after that? Now that you've done it, and it's a victory for the way you've thought about things.
I think the real sentiment, more than nervousness, was pain and disappointment. After the last couple of races, which were difficult. Pain and disappointment, which is the pain and the disappointment of sport people. The people who care, the people who give their everything to try and achieve important results. And obviously, you have to deal with this kind of sentiment. But I was telling to the team a couple of times during this weekend, what makes me most proud of the team is the way we responded to the difficulties. You know, like we are proud about the success, about the trajectory from last to double world champion in 3 years. This makes us proud. But deep inside, I think I'm more proud of how we responded to the difficulties, how we kept ourselves united, how we never pointed the finger to any of our colleagues. I think this makes so much of a difference when you want to just keep building, just get better and better. The bar, like I said before, is very high. When you're trying to beat a driver that is 4 times world champion in an established team, they know very well what kind of game this is. The bar is high, you need to go united.
Let's talk about Oscar Piastri. What a job he's done for you, especially this year.
Well, Lando is champion. Effectively, we could have had 2 champions this year. The gap between the two was so small. And I said after qualifying that I think it was 30 milliseconds, that was the whole story of a season. 30 milliseconds in qualifying, always so close on track, very close on lap 1, as you said. Some tense situation from that point of view, but always resolved for the best. Oscar was a worldwide champion, and he was worldwide champion 3rd season in Formula 1. He learned so rapidly. He had a couple of races where he struggled a bit in the famous low grip tracks. He learned very rapidly what to do. He became immediately competitive again. His trajectory is phenomenal, and definitely we have a future multiple world champion in Oscar.
Andrea, many congratulations. We'll let you
Thanks
go and
a lot.
enjoy that one with your team. You've absolutely
Thank you very
deserved
much. Thanks,
every
everyone.
moment.
7 world titles. Lando's just got his first behind you. You remember that feeling, and we've got a new British world champion as well. Can we get a few words from you on Lando?
Yeah, I mean, I've been asked a bit. I was thinking, not saying too much really, just other than I'm really happy for him. But winning your first world championship is truly special. And the UK continues to pump out great drivers, and I think I know what the feeling is also when you're coming into this race and fighting for your first championship is nerve-wracking. Yeah, I'm just really proud of him. I just told him to do before the weekend. Just told him to what he's been doing works, so don't change anything. And I guess that's what he did.
And what he'd give to have that feeling again, but just another look at that. That's a lovely moment from one champion to the other.
You could breathe a sigh of relief it's all over, but you did your best today. You did everything you could. Can you be satisfied with that, at least today?
I think today, yes. We gave it everything. We tried a bit of a gamble on strategy. Tried absolutely everything to try and win the race and give ourselves the best chance to win the championship, but ultimately we didn't have the pace today. So gave it absolutely everything, and that's all you can ask for.
Lando said you made him dig deeper than he's ever had to before, and that he learnt a lot from you this season. Can I ask in return what you've learned from him and how you found the challenge?
It's been a fun challenge, I think. Obviously at certain points maybe it doesn't feel that fun, but I think it's been a really enjoyable season for both of us, probably. And I'm saying that as the person that's not champion. So I've learned plenty of things along the way. I think even the last 3 years, I've learned things
every weekend from what Lando does, and it's nice to know that it goes both ways. So there's plenty more years to come of intense weekends and tight battles, but ultimately I think that's made both of us better drivers, and I think in some ways contributed to the success that both of us have had this year.
I mean, Zach's called you a future world champion. Can I just ask you what you've learned from this season in terms of your performance, in terms of how you deal with disappointments and triumphs, to be fair?
I think, when things have been good this year, I've felt, unstoppable at points. And to even be able to get to that point is a pretty cool feeling to have. There's been plenty of times where that's not been the case, and I think I've learned a lot of lessons on how to deal with tough moments, adversity from different directions. So I think ultimately I've learned a lot about myself, and I've obviously been in championship battles before in the junior categories, but in F1 it's got a little bit of extra to it. So I've learned plenty about that this year, and I think that'll only help me go forward.
Thank you for a fantastic battle this year, and I know you'll be up there again. Thanks.
No problem. Thank you.
2 points, Max. It's an incredible turnaround. How proud are you of your season and of the team this year?
I think we've had a roller coaster of a year, especially in the beginning. But I think how we turn it around, and the results that we have achieved after honestly having tough times after the race where you just don't know why it's bad, or this bad or that inconsistent. It's not easy, but I think the team has really showed that they never give up. I mean, it's easy to say, well, this is it, right? 100 points plus. Season is done, but they always kept trying to understand the issues, and I think we really did. It's been fun, honestly. Like the fight back has been really fun, and at the end, of course, it doesn't matter if you finish behind by 1 point, 10 points, 20 points. You're behind. It's 2 points now at the end, but it's been cool. I've been enjoying it.
From the way this season started, it was obviously very difficult. How much are you inspired by what this team is able to achieve? Because there are moments where people are talking about you potentially leaving the team, but this team has shown how unified they are and what they can actually achieve. How much does that inspire you going forward?
It just shows that the team is, really united. They're fighters, and it's something that, of course, I really enjoy. And of course, at times, I also didn't feel great in the situation, but I think we always lifted each other up again when we needed to, and that's something that I think we can be very proud of.
Can I get a word from you on Lando? I know it's hard when you've just lost to him, but...
No, I mean, I don't even see it like losing, to be honest. I mean, he has had a very, very good season. I mean, I think in general it's been a tough battle between himself and Oscar, and at one point I got into the fight. But I think winning your first is always super emotional. Is very special, because honestly I think everyone on the grid here is always dreaming about that, that moment. So I hope he really enjoys it tonight with his family and of course the team.
Thank you for a great battle, and thank you for everything.
We don't know what we're going to get from them. I should think we'll know pretty quickly whether Max will be a driver at Red Bull for 2027. Will we, judging by the start next year?
I don't think we'll know anything about next year until we get to Melbourne, maybe in the qualifying really, but there's a lot of clever people at Red Bull Powertrains, a lot of money, and they've been going at it a while, but they're rookies at making Formula One engines, so to speak. But we'll see who's got it right when it matters, but that's a nice touch. Gianpaolo Lambiase, obviously Max's engineer, Andrea Stella, they'll have known each other many years and had some battles, but interesting to see GP apparently in tears up on the pit wall there, wasn't he? Because and again, it'll be Gianpaolo will be somebody else looking back and thinking, oh, if only we'd have had the car at those races. How did we not get our setup right? And then suddenly go and win 6 out of 9 races.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, will Max, if we were to just to throw it forward a little bit, again, we don't know what's going to happen until 2026. He'll be in the best car for 2027, though, won't he? He has that luxury that's been afforded to him by being a generational talent, the best probably in the field.
Yes, you're right. I would tend to agree with that he's going to see how the season starts next year, and then potentially switch to whichever team has the best car, because he can pick and choose. and I think he's going to be a bit impatient.
Yeah.
He wants to keep winning and get that 5th World Championship. So if I had to predict something, I think it could go that way. But anyways, it's so early days. Let's be patient, because Red Bull could still be the dominant force next year.
But he can't go to McLaren. They've got 2 great incumbents. You know, Mercedes have got George and Kimi. Where are the spaces? Ferrari. I think he will have absolutely the call of the field of those that have got and want to have a space available.
And have the money available as well, because that might cost them a bob or two. Here's Lewis Hamilton. Good drive today, disappointing season overall. I wonder how he's reflected on it.
Hi, Lewis. You always turn up on race day. It was, a great drive to get back through into the points today. But I do want to ask, when it's so difficult to get answers, say for your qualifying performance, say from the car, what is it that motivates you? What's been helping you get through those dark days this year that have been so challenging? How have you found the grit to get up and go on?
I've had amazing support from so many people that travel around the world to support me or send me messages. So my fans have been the thing that have kept me going, really been the rock. My mum has really been phenomenal supporter. And my dad and my family as well. So I would say just luckily I've got those good people around me, and then as I said, each weekend I see young kids and adults rooting me on and reminding me why I do what I do and not to give up, which is really incredibly I'm really appreciative of it.
He's always going to receive an enormous amount of support because of what he's achieved in the sport, but how do you assess his season compared to how he has?
It's horribly tough, and that's why actually, Martin, do you think he might call it a day on this incredible career and retire?
The trouble is that his stats and his reputation is not being enhanced with this, but I would have thought he'll wait and see if Ferrari get it together for 2026, see how he's going, see how they're going, if he's enjoying it. I think if we were asking that question a year from now when he's had a difficult season, would be a completely... I would be very surprised if he just switches it off this winter. What do you think?
No, I think he has to continue, because stopping now would be... That's not cool, because he only just started this Ferrari project, yeah, and to give up in a way after only one season, I think that doesn't work. So he's kind of... He has to continue and give it another shot and hope that maybe he feels comfortable in that next year car, and that maybe the car is also a good car, because this year's car is not great.
Has he still got the skill set to beat a driver of Charles Leclerc's caliber?
Not on this year's results, no. But let's see how he copes with the way the cars they're going to handle completely differently next year.
Yeah, I think his great struggle this year was qualifying pace, because in the race there was always still these flashes of brilliance that we kept on seeing again. It's just qualifying pace, and with the car being so different next year, maybe he can find some of that old magic again in qualifying. So the hope is still there, definitely.
Cool. Okay, right.